Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. And this is on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. We're making a lot of changes. We're expanding the audience. You can find us on channel 182 on Charter Communications. This is up in North Alabama, close to the Huntsville area. You can also still find us on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Been doing that for 4 years. You can also find us on the Newscaster Studio. That's where the podcast is. Another way you can find us is on the radio. And this is the biggest country station in South Carolina. We're really proud to be part of that. And I'm working on something else. And AP, you're going to be part of this. You don't even know it yet.
Okay.
And this is another avenue for us, reaching close to 1 million viewers. And so I've thrown your name in the hat, and the guy wants to talk to you. I'm putting you on the spot. But anyway, I told him about your sports, and he's looking for someone like you who wants to talk the straight of sports. What's it about? I mean, where are we at? Why did we get here? How are we going to get out of it? How are we going to win? And that's what I want to talk to you about, AP. So let's kind of give him just a little bit of a hint at the kind of talk show host that you are. Things are changing.
Sure. Yeah. Glad to be here, Donna. Thank you for having me once again. And we had a good weekend. I just delved into this. We're at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So we had a few inductees from Alabama and Auburn and people from the state of Alabama. So from Auburn, we had Jason Campbell, the former quarterback, played in the NFL as well. And he's on the Auburn Radio Network as the analyst. So I was with Jason 2 weekends in a row because he was inducted into the Senior Bowl Hall of Fame last weekend. And this past weekend, the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. So that was two great honors for Jason. And then they had the former golfer and golf coach, Kim Evans, highly successful at Auburn University, National Coach of the Year, won multiple SEC titles, was involved in the golf championship with the NCAA. Her teams earned a berth many times. Then we had Evan Mathis of the University of Alabama, played offensive lineman, played in the pros. I mean, it was 12 years, won a Super Bowl with Denver. We had Ray Odoms, a former basketball player at Alabama, all SEC, 3 years. Ended up playing Canadian League football, Donna. How's that? Canadian League football. Because he was so talented, went from basketball to professional football, played for the Memphis Showboats along the way with people like Reggie White on that team. People know that name from Tennessee, of course. Then we have Les Steadham. She was a softball coach, highly successful. Jeff Brantley was a pitcher for Mississippi State from Alabama, competed in the Major League Baseball, won the Rolaids Reliever of the Year in 1996. So he still holds the record, I think, or tied 45 wins, 18-2 1 year in the SEC. Those are all top-notch records. Tommy Tuberville, coach at Auburn, he was inducted. Then we had some media people inducted as well. Reese Davis, we all know Reese. He's the host of college football, college basketball, graduate of University of Alabama. And then we had John Johnson from the Wiregrass area. John been involved in the media 37 years. He was inducted. He received an award, and Reese received an award. Reese received the Distinguished American Sportsman Award, and John Johnson was the Mel Allen Media Award. So that was significant. And Mike Turk received an award as well. He was the quarterback at Troy. So it was a nice weekend in Birmingham, Alabama, at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. And some of the inductees returned, the award winners returned. So we got to see quite a few people on Saturday night. Probably, there must have been, I'm thinking 700 to 800 people there, Donna.
That was a good event, a big one.
Yeah, excellent event every year. So really enjoy that all the time. And we get a chance to visit with people from the present, the past, and some future award winners as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I wanted to ask you a question though. Did you get to interview any of those folks as far as like?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Tony. Yeah, you could see on my YouTube channel, APS. We had a nice interview with Reese Davis. He explained how he entered the broadcasting field and and now Andrea Kirby, really a pioneer woman in sports. Andrea was from Russellville, Alabama, graduated from Alabama in the 60s. You know, Donna, she, believe it or not, she was on the desk of giving the college football scores for ABC when we had the one channel, the one station, 1977. Think about that. 1970. People should know her name, Andrea Kirby. And she worked at a TV station in New York, Donna. I mean, that's number one, right? Mm-hmm. So she did that in the 80s, and she became a media coach for the Olympic team in 1996, coached many general managers, players, golfers, basketball players, you name it. She has coached them. So she's a person of note, and right here from the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. That's quite a career.
Oh, totally impressive. I mean, think about that, Donna. You see these young women on the air now, thousands of them at this point. Well, they have to thank somebody like Andrea Kirby. She was in sports way before anybody even thought of a woman being at the desk, the national desk, ABC, who did the college football. There was only one station that did college football during the season, and she was giving the score, so everybody around the country saw her. But anyway, those interviews are all on my YouTube channel at AP as we see it. We have interviewed Jason and John Copeland and Jeff Brantley, Kim Evans, Evan Mathis, Ray Odoms, Reese Davis, John Johnson. Those are the interviews that I think I put up there. And you get everybody, but I got the majority.
Did you get in discussions with any of those people about college football and pioneer out there?
Right. Yeah, we spoke a little bit off, not during the interview, but Donna, I think everybody feels that something needs to be done. But like I tell people all the time, you never hear the athletes complaining because finally they're getting paid. Zero complaint.
Now
zero. I have not heard one athlete complaining. The complaints are from the adults, the athletic directors, the coaches, the presidents, the fans, the alumni. But like I tell everybody, if I'm a fan of a team that's been mediocre for decades, and all of a sudden we have an opportunity to reach from, let's say, 5 wins to 8, 10 wins, I am not complaining as a fan of that team. I'm cheering the process on that they've established and forever changed college athletics, that my team can compete.
Yeah, but what are the other teams saying? I mean, the other teams who've always been at the top of the heap.
Yeah, well, now it's you have to compete. Competitive world out there, Donna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have to compete.
Competition is good. As a matter of
fact, it should be. It sorts everything out. If you can't coach, you'll be gone, because the talent level is equalizing, and some parity. So you're exposed, Donna, good or bad. You're exposed with your coaching.
It's almost going to turn in. Okay, so it's election time, and I'm just telling you, every other commercial on television is about somebody running against somebody else, and they're bashing people like crazy. I would like to not see it turn into that, where it's that kind of competition. There's a fair competition.
Right. It's in recruiting, Donna. All those things happen in recruiting. The whispers go on about so-and-so coach is ready to retire. So-and-so coach is not good at developing quarterbacks, or you don't want to be in their offense or play for their defense, or all those things that you see in the world of politics and in sales. That happens in recruiting in athletics. Every single thing that you can ever imagine.
Well, I got to tell you about one of my sponsors. His name is Bobby Ledbetter with Twin City Used Car Sales, and Bobby has been in business for a long time. Been a very good friend here to this television station. We definitely appreciate that.
Right.
But Bobby and I were talking one time about competition, and he asked me if I was afraid of the competition.
Right.
I said, no, I'm not afraid of the competition. He said, well, what do you do when they say something bad about you? Because they're going to. That's just the way it's going to be.
Right.
I said, I don't know. Sometimes when you think about it, I said, if they're talking about you, they're giving you free advertising, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely right. You're living free in their mind.
And that's what he said, because he was working for another for another car dealership and just quit overnight and opened up his dealership like the next day right by them. Well, you can imagine the naysayers that were going, but I said, well, who were really the naysayers? And he said, oh, it was just the people at the other dealership. It was not the customers, but the customers followed him because he took good care of them. They didn't even listen to any of that nonsense. I hope we're going to be headed in that direction.
Yeah, that's always best. If you do your best, and let it be sorted out. The cream rises to the top, as they say, and you'll be just fine. You keep improving yourself and finding better ways to do business or promote your entity. People will find you, and if you treat them correctly, they will be lifelong followers.
You'll be friends. I mean, you'll just be friends. That's what you get. But let me ask you a question. So and I know you don't want to add anything else to what you do because you've got a career going, you've been doing this for a number of years, but I'm just saying, what if a coach came to you and he wanted you to coach him on being the best coach? What would you tell him?
Yeah, I would tell him, a famous adage of Coach Bryant was he didn't want anybody around that was as dumb as him. So you want people around you that are very smart, and you want people around you that have courage and initiative and vision, because we're always looking for new ideas and ways, and we want to have the courage to implement those new techniques and strategies. So I like people who can take the initiative, who are creative, and who are hungry. And that's what I would tell him. And you want somebody on your team. You have to have at least one person, Donna. If it's just one, you're lucky. If you're lucky enough, they must be able to evaluate the talent that you're bringing to your organization. You want somebody who can interview a person, watch a person, observe a person, and say, we need this particular person to shore up this part of our organization. You have to have somebody who can evaluate. You want more than one, but you must have at a minimum one person that can evaluate talent. And then you have to have people around you that could groom the talent and develop the talent that you bring into your organization. That's what I would tell them. And then all those X and O's things, Donna, you need somebody, if that's not your specialty, you have to find them as well. So, and then you want complementary personalities. Maybe you're on the low key side as a coach. Well, you need somebody who's more verbal and can get the attention of the players and the staff, so you can balance the rhythm of the organization.
Totally get it. And it sounds like, and you are, in essence, you are working as a team yourself within the team. You are
That's right.
The team.
That's right.
Or
everybody, and you want to, and also when you bring somebody to your organization, you want to outline the responsibilities, and then you never give somebody the responsibility without the authority. You can't give somebody the A without the R without the A. They can't function.
That's true. And then leave them alone and let them run for it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can't do everything. Don't get caught doing everything. Yes. Be around everything, but you can't do everything.
It's true. It sounds to me like you're explaining how to run a business, a successful business. And that's what all those things you just said are core. I mean, it has to be done that way. I found that out a long time ago. My very first corporate job was a huge cosmetic company. And so I was running around all over the place, and just, so my boss said, I'm going to meet you in Atlanta. We've got to talk. And I thought, oh no, she's going to fire me. I was like my first corporate job. And so we meet, and she said, you know what? You're going to pass out. And I said, oh, I'm not. I'm very healthy. And she said, you're going to run into some issues. She said, here's what I want you to do. She said, your family, I'm not saying where you're putting your family anywhere in the equation. She said, you've got to have God first, then your family, then me. She said, I'm on the low button. And I said, you're telling me that you're the third? And she said, yeah, because the other two, you're just not going to be successful. She said, you're worthless. I can't deal with you that way. So anyway, I learned a lot from Kathy. It was one of those really big learning curves that I needed. And I think needs to be somebody to coach the coaches, and you're the guy. You need to be the one to do that. Let's go into a commercial break. You can tell whoever that I said you, okay? We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. Back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. So good to be with you. Thank you so much for being with us. AP and I know that you could be doing anything else, but you're watching us right now, and we definitely appreciate that. Now, if you are at work when the show begins at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, no fret. I don't want you getting in trouble at work. You can find us anytime you would like to. We're on all the social media sites. Just look us up at your convenience and watch the show. And if you don't mind, share. We definitely appreciate you doing that as well. I've got AP Steadham with me right now. Okay, AP, in the world of football, anything you're seeing new out there on the horizon?
Yeah, Donna, there's a slight trend at the moment. The SEC is going to be playing the 9 games. So what they want to do is they're trying to alleviate some of the Power 4 non-conference games because, for instance, let's take a team like Georgia. They already played Georgia Tech, so that'd be a 10th game against the Power 4 team. So they had a series set up in 27 and 28 with Florida State. Now, they mutually canceled that series, but they are looking down the road to perhaps a neutral site. And they also Georgia canceled the series in 33-34 with North Carolina State. But I think what they're waiting for is to see how these 9 games in the SEC, and then the wins and the losses affect their standing with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. And if it moves from 12 to, let's say, 24 or 16, you're going to have some teams in there with 3 or 4 losses. So I think a team like Georgia would be fine if they played a tough non-power, a Power 4 opponent. And on their schedule, they lost, but specifically it was a close game. So I don't think it's going to affect them, but there's a little fear right now. There's some slight fear that if they lose that type of game, that they would not be selected by the college football playoff team. So Alabama, they canceled the series with Oklahoma State that was going to be played in 28 and 29. And all the athletic directors are looking for the 7 home games. They want that revenue for the 7 home games. So we shall see. But that is the trend at the moment. You're trying to juggle that schedule to position yourself to make sure that you're playing the 9 conference games in the SEC. You might have a team like Florida plays Florida State. That's a 10th Power 4 team. So you don't want an 11th or a 12th game against a Power 4 team. So they're shying away at the present time. But that's not to say it might resurface down the road to add those Power 4 teams on their schedule once they have a feel for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's willingness to embrace the strength of schedule. So even if you lose the game, they're going to give you some type of credit for scheduling a Power 4 opponent.
That's interesting. That could turn out very interesting there.
Yeah, it could. I think you'll see these teams get together down the road, but right now they don't have the confidence to schedule that extra game against a Power 4 opponent, especially somebody like a Georgia or Florida that plays at Florida State, and then Georgia plays Georgia Tech. South Carolina plays Clemson. So that's 10 games against a Power 4 opponent. So for South Carolina, because they play Clemson with their annual rivalry. And oh, by the way, Don, I had a chance to see the Clemson folks this weekend. Dabo Swinney and company, they were there at the Hall of Fame supporting. Dabo was a teammate of John Copeland, so he was there supporting John Copeland. Yeah.
You and I have had several discussions about having 2 quarterbacks on a team. What's the importance of them both getting equal time pay?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be equal, but Donna, I just can't imagine in this day and age, you bury a second string quarterback on the bench. And then in the 5th game, the first string quarterback is injured. Maybe it's for a couple games, but you didn't have the vision to play the second string quarterback and give him some precious time in critical moments. I'm not talking when you're winning by 3 and 4 touchdowns and they're second, third stringers in the ball game. I mean, when it's a crucial moment in the ball game, you have that quarterback out there throwing the ball and commanding the team. But that's a coach's choice, Donna. And he'll have to live with the decision, obviously. But if it was me, I'm putting somebody out there. I want to test them. I want them to have an opportunity to show me that they can perform with all the first stringers on the other team and on our team as well. But most coaches, they'll usually pick the starting quarterback, and the second string quarterback, they will not be inserted into the lineup during those critical moments. But I think that's an error in judgment. I really do.
They too. You know, sometimes people are looking over a 4-leaf clover.
Right. So
a chance. I mean,
yeah. And for instance, let's say you put the second string quarterback in and they don't perform very well. Okay. That means you have to do better with that player in practice. It's on you because that's your second string quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is better than the third. Your third string quarterback can't elevate themselves to move past the second string quarterback. So that's for you and your coaching staff to address immediately. Okay, we thought we had a good second string quarterback we could insert and we would still be able to score points, move the ball. He's having trouble. Well, that's up to us. We have to change it. But we never would know if we didn't insert him into the lineup.
And you never know what that play could turn into.
Yeah, no. And they could have a hot moment for you when your team is just struggling offensively. And that's why if you have two quarterbacks, especially that are similar in skill and talent, I just can't see burying another quarterback.
I can't either. I mean, I don't understand unless there's some kind of politics involved in doing that.
There can be. Yeah, there can be, Donna. Yeah, there can be some politics involved, of course.
So let me ask you another question. In this this is about players being paid, and I'm for it. I really am.
Right.
But can someone, maybe the person who's being paid the most in a position, could they be picked over somebody else simply because they're being paid more?
Yeah, that's always a good question. That happens in professional sports as well, Donna. But if I'm a college coach, my position is I'm setting aside all politics with a position. I'm playing the person I feel is the best. Mm-hmm. So that means if we were paying somebody the most money at the wide receiver position and the second wide receiver is better, or there's somebody else that we need to insert into the lineup, I'm not thinking about the money. I'm thinking about the performance, production over the money.
But then again, if you don't perform and you're losing every game, then you're going to lose your money. So I don't understand why you wouldn't just pick the best person for the job. Yeah,
just pick the best person. There are mistakes made in recruiting all the time. Mm-hmm. So you have to set aside the original decision and say, gee, with this person we had lower on our board as a offensive tackle, but they're outperforming the person we thought had the 5 stars and was an exceptional in high school, but this person entered college, got bigger, stronger, grasped the offense, the techniques. We must play that person. It's performance that matters.
I've seen a time when I thought the water boy would have probably been the better choice.
Probably so. That happens. But the coaches, they have these types of decisions, Donna, and that defines them as a coach. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? If you made an error, you can admit to that error, because if you have a 5-star offensive tackle and it's all of a sudden some walk-on is out there, that means you made the decision. Be damned to our original thought we were getting an all-star player. Came on campus, we found that the other person was better. I'm trying to we're doing the best for our team to try to win.
Absolutely. That's what you do for your business. The best.
Absolutely. Yeah. But coaches have to make these decisions, Donna. And if it's political, you have to navigate those waters.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. AP, we got a call today. How can folks find out more about you?
Oh, yeah. It's at AP as we see it on my YouTube channel. That's the visual broadcast on Spotify. Check your local channels. It's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday around the Southeast. And we always put up our links to our YouTube channel, and so people can find us. And we'll have a guest this week. We'll be discussing one of the SEC teams with our guest. Last week we discussed Oklahoma with Ryan Chapman. He's with OU on Sports Illustrated. He was excellent. People wanted to hear that interview. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.